Welcome back to Winton Motor Raceway. Anxious times for the Barana boys, especially that one. 22-year-old Kiwi Simon Wills should walk away from Winton today, Australian Drivers' Champion. He starts from pole position yet again, alongside Chris Starr. Tim Lay, a good qualifying effort from Matthew Halliday in a new 94D. Akihiro Asai, Paul Dumbrell, and newcomer Jason Leifting. Astudi, Ramsey, way back, Digby, Power, Crampton, Lars Johansson returns. Gary Haywood in the ex-Halliday car. Peter Hill in the Echo Reynard. Roger Oakshott all the way back to Rowan Carrick in 23rd position. That will be 22, of course, because we have lost Astudi. Away we go. A Barana car, a challenge car on the front row, and it is the challenge car of Chris Starr who gets the jump. That is quite rare, Mark Larkham, to see our championship leader, Simon Wills, be beaten off the line into the first corner.
Yeah, good start there, Lee, and I've got to say, mate, I love this category. I love these cars. It's very, very difficult to look at the TV pictures and actually grasp just how fast and accurate these cars are.
On board with Team NRC driver Akihiro Asai. Oh, he's been tagged. That looked like he got hit by Paul Dumbrell in the Wints car. Able to continue. That was a nasty hit. As you can see in the middle of Akihiro's steering wheel, he's got some Japanese writing. Here's Aki to explain what it's all about.
1, 集中, which means concentrate. 2, 冷静, which means be cool. 3, 必要, which means be persistent. I always don't look at the steering wheels when I'm driving, so I'm just forgetting about that. But so to be cool.
Larko, do you ever have anything like that on your steering wheel?
Well, to be honest, Lee, on my V8 supercar, I've actually got Go Faster written on there. I don't know about Be Cool. I don't know if that's such a concern at this point in time.
We get back to the racing action. And Brendan Ramsey working his way up from 10th on the grid. Gets by Jason Leifting. Here's Paul Dumbrell in the Wints car into the pits. Larko, that's obviously after that contact with Asai.
Yeah, very, very difficult to have any form of contact in these cars, Lee, without creating damage. As you can see, the suspension hardware is very, very lightweight.
Tremendous drive by the two challenge recruitment guys in Chris Starr, the Kiwi Cup Queenslander, and Matthew Halliday. First time out in this new 94D. They're leading Simon Wills.
You can see, just looking at these cars, they're all running quite a lot of wing here, Lee. This is a high downforce circuit because we don't have any real long straights. Oh, gee, that's interesting.
Chris Starr has gone, our race leader's off, and he's spun. We lost him momentarily in the dust, so that's disastrous for Starr. Back on board with Akihiro Asai. This is coming through that area. You can see Chris Starr off to the left. And, well, the race is all over for him.
Well, it is, as you can see, Lee. Very, very difficult to get these cars on the curbs like that and get away with it. They're very, very sensitive, very stiff. 2,000 and 3,000 pound springs in these cars, so very difficult when you're bouncing them around on the curbs.
Very handy for new race leader Matthew Halliday in the second of the challenge recruitment cars. As we said earlier, first time out in this car, and he is leading. Quite unbelievable. Simon Wills in second and Tim Lay. A great
job,
drive in third.
Yeah, fantastic. Great to see Tim up there. Tim's a real future talent in our sport, I think, Lee, and great to see him hustling along there in third place.
Speaking of hustling there, it looks like Jason Leifting making an inside move on Brendan Ramsey and Akihiro Asai. Now, we will explain, too, that Adam Macro, Formula 4 champ, teammate to this car here, Akihiro Asai, no longer in the championship, has had a parting of the ways with his management company, and Ramsey has gone.
Yeah, that's interesting. For whatever reason, he's really struggled when he's got on the power there. I don't know if that's an aerodynamic imbalance or a suspension imbalance, but he has struggled with it.
Back on his way now, though, Brendan Ramsey. We've lost another one, and that is Ian Peters in the Camtech entry. So the race looks all over for Ian. But it's far from over for this young guy. Matthew Halliday has been one of the real finds for Graham Watson this season. He's being pressured by the man of the season. So much so he's gone off. Larko, can you believe it?
Yeah, high-speed part of the circuit. He's very lucky to get away with it there, but that puts Simon Wills back in the lead in what is a terrific effort by Barana Racing. I've got to say, Lee, they've really been the mainstay of this category for some years. A bit like what McLaren is to F1, if you like. Their presentation, their performance has been A1 since the category started some years ago.
Wow, there is cars going off everywhere. Akihiro Asai just overcooking it a little bit out of that right-hander. The run onto the pit straight, he looks behind and gets going again.
I think what we're seeing here, Lee, these cars run on a fairly hard controlled tyre, and I've got to say, the Winton surface is a very, very smooth surface, and I think these guys, they can't run soft suspension to overcome that. They've got to run very stiff suspension so their aerodynamic under tray is effective, and I think they're struggling with the conditions a little.
Here's a guy of the future, Tim Lay. Originally from Orange, now based in WA, but is heading back to the East Coast, has confirmed a V8 supercar drive with John Briggs in the Super Cheap Auto AUXR8. Now, there is Chris Staff limping home. We saw him spin earlier, and it seems now that mechanical troubles will send him back to the pits.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a rate of attrition here. I can only expect, I mean, these sorts of cars have a very fragile transverse gearbox in them, Lee, and there's another one spinning. So similar situation, hard to explain.
Gary Haywood in the X, Matthew Halliday Reynard, and he's back on his way. Looks like Brendan Ramsey just overtaking him. Yes, it is. After Ramsey himself has spun in this race earlier.
You can see there, oh, there we go again. You'd have to suggest something's amiss there, wouldn't you?
Oh, what do you suspect that to be, Mark?
Well, hard to say. Again, I'm seeing so many cars spinning here. What's happened there?
Jason Leifting, that is, in the X out of macro car.
Yeah, again, Lee, just the rate at which cars are spinning off the track here, you would have to suggest they are struggling with the grip level of the circuit and the tyre compatibility with that.
Well, after race one being cancelled, Simon Wills was denied a race win. He will get the race win if nothing goes astray here and get the record for the most wins in a season. He will surpass Jason Bright's record of eight wins in a season. He has been the man. He has been undefeated other than 2 times. There's the Barana team giving him the wave down the pit straight for the final time. Beaten twice only this year by Todd Kelly. That was at Phillip Island. It has been a golden run as he comes through the final 2 turns. The 1999 Holden Australian Drivers' Champion is Simon Wells. The fist out of the cockpit, he takes it out, and it has been a dominant performance in 1999. He wins from Tim Lay. That's an encouraging drive for Tim. From Japanese driver Akihiro Asai, Digby, Power, Ramsey, Hill and Crampton.
Well, celebrations down here in pit lane at Winton Motor Raceway, and the champion, the Australian Drivers' Champion of 1999, Simon Wills, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it was a great feeling to get it under my belt. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's been a pretty good season for us, really. You couldn't really say much has gone wrong, and it's been a credit to the team. They've done a fantastic job with the car. Like Malcolm's put together a very good team. Everybody who's been working on the car has just made the thing a weapon. It's just so fast at the moment, and we've got more time to come out of it, so hopefully we can really impress people at Oran Park.
The boys are diving in here, well done.
As Simon Wills gets mobbed, he takes out the championship. But something that is far from over is the battle for second. Staff and Halliday, the teammates, still at it with 1 round to go.